We spend a lot of time talking about making the most of our time while we're at Disneyland. Usually it's strategies for rope drop or the last 2 hours of the night, but what about the middle of the day? That is our mission. We've got a plan that'll take advantage of a couple of rides I recommend hitting midday, while also taking advantage of the 3 o'clock parade, giving us an opportunity to do a little recon to see just what effect the parade has on queues throughout the park before, during, and after that parade. So let's get started. Learn something about Disneyland. Our day starts today right here on Main Street at 1 p.m. First parade is at 3 p.m. That'll be starting at Small World, so we got a little time to catch up with that. Our first goal is to get to Pirates of the Caribbean by 1:05 to start this adventure, to start the clock running. The goal is to arrive at the threshold of Pirates of the Caribbean at 1:05. My expectation, I'm hoping for something like a 25-minute standby, then get through the actual ride and be out of there by 1:45, and that's kind of like the beginning of that process. But I'm choosing Pirates because it's one of those attractions that I recommend not rope dropping or not using at the end of the night. I prefer to hit a ride like Pirates in the middle of the day. Plus any and all non-Lightning Lane attractions are good at the middle of the day, which we'll be taking advantage of also today. Probably Peter Pan, hopefully, depending on how things go. Matter of fact, let's just do it. Let's look at the tip board right now. And first things first, Pirates is showing 45. So that's a bad start to our strategy today. I was hoping for a 25-30 minute standby. Eesh. Okay, so that's not good. Also part of our plan is Peter Pan's flight. That's looking at 40 minutes right now also, which is a little higher than I was hoping or planning. We've been seeing it at about 30 minutes for most of the past few weeks, so it looks like it might be a little bit of a busy day. Star of the show today is going to be Matterhorn, and that's really the focus of our attention. How will this strategy, how will this day, this 3-hour stretch be affected by the parade, specifically the Matterhorn? That is one of those parade adjacent attractions that I've talked about. There's a band coming. I've been trying to stay out of their way. That's one of those parade adjacent attractions that gets most affected by the parade. Right now it's at 65 minutes. I'm hoping that comes down. I'm hoping that when we try to hit that, both during and after the parade, we'll see a fluctuation. We'll see. One of our wild card attractions in there is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I'm going to see how that one reacts also to the parade schedule, but right now it's closed, so that may change in the near future. But we have arrived here at Pirates of the Caribbean to see a crowd, but I can already tell in the distance, you can't see that far, but I can, that they have not yet run the queue out into the Tiana's Palace area, which is good, but they've also got 4 switchbacks out here in front of the attraction, which is not good. Or is it 3? Yeah, it's 3. Normally you'll see this, just these 2 switchbacks right here. So we're getting in this queue now. We just got to the back of the queue at exactly 1:05, just as we had hoped. But I'm hoping we don't run into a 45-minute standby. All is going to depend, as usual, on Lightning Lane. Oh, brief good news. They adjusted the posted wait time down to 40, so we just saved 5 minutes, according to the board, that is. I figure we have to get to the threshold in the next 10 minutes, maybe 15, in order to beat that. In order to get to that 25-minute wait time. It's usually about 10 minutes to get from the threshold to your boat. It's not looking good for that, at least. I can't reach over far enough from the ropes over here to look into Lightning Lane, but I can see the back of the Lightning Lane queue right there, which is undesirable. That's not a good look if they are still running guests all the way along the side of the building to the left, which it looks like they are. That is the case, and it's a very popular attraction today on Lightning Lane that's going to affect our standby performance. Yeah, it looks like there you can see a whole bunch of guests there on that side. Oh man. Guys, if you're here, if you're riding Pirates, check that. Check and see if they're using that side of the queue. That's a win if you're getting a standby and you don't see the Lightning Lane queue stretching out to that area. That's good for you. That's good for standby. That's a queue that I would recommend getting into. From an aesthetic point of view, I love this part of the queue. I love this part of Pirates. Getting to look over the threshold like that, the crowd out there coming into New Orleans Square. If you're lucky, You get a little boat traffic on the river. It's quite enjoyable. The Pirates queue is underrated for reasons like that. I mean, it's kind of just a typical back and forth kind of queue, but every now and then you get amazing scenes like this. 1:14 and we arrived at the bottom of the bridge. I mean, so we're in good shape to get to the threshold in 15 minutes at least. Well, now it's 1:15, so it's been 10 minutes. That's actually better than I thought we would do so far. 1:19 as we reach the threshold, so that was 4 minutes to get down the ramp, and they've adjusted it down again. It's now saying 35 minutes. So things are improving, although I would say that was a little bit stickier right there than, you know, the bridge was. So we've got 1:19, we've got 11 minutes to get to our ride vehicle from here. I mean, it could happen. Yeah, look at, they cleared it all. It's all gone, nothing on the side of the house. It's incredible how quickly they can clear a seemingly large queue. I've seen that time and again. We just saw that at Rise the Resistance on our State of Disneyland report. They can process Lightning Lane very, very quickly if they want to. So it's good for us in the sense that, you know, it's not a permanent situation, and then, you know, you'll find that it doesn't take long for that to clear. But it's also good for those Lightning Lane guests. If you think you see a line that looks too long, don't worry about it. You're going to get in there in just a few minutes. On our way towards the door at 1:23, if we can get to that door in the next 2 minutes, I think we're good, because it takes about 3 or 4 minutes to get from the door to your boat. And that's, by the way, you don't have to worry about Lightning Lane. Once you get into the door, that's when you've already been mixed with Lightning Lane, so it's consistent, always the same. So I figure we need to get in. Okay, it's 1:24 now, so maybe that won't happen, but we're gonna be just minutes off instead of 10 or 15. It'll be just a couple. $128 through the door. That's not bad. I was hoping to be on the boat by 1:30. We're almost there. $133, and that's our boat.
Sit closer together and keep your bloody hands in.
clucking. The gentlemen want the rum, don't you, boys?
Keep still. I'm studying me map. Oh, it's the treasure map for sure, and no mistake. And by thunder.
'Drink up, lads. There's treasure enough for all. I shall take this poultry son and start on a couple of business.
All hands
156.
prepare to go ashore by stepping out to your right.
Oh my. Things got worse since we were on there. They have in fact grown it all the way out here into New Orleans Square towards Tiana's Palace. Things are getting busier out here. So as plans go, that went bad news, good news, back to bad news again. Where we were hoping for a posted wait time of 25, we got a posted wait time of 45, down 20 minutes there. But it was quicker than the 45. It was an actual of 28 minutes to our boat. So we lost 3 minutes there. Hey, what's up? But then the actual ride took about 10 minutes longer. We arrived at dock at 1:56. So somewhere we lost about, what, 7 or 8 minutes on ride? So we are well behind schedule. I was hoping to be at the back of the queue already at Peter Pan. We've got a few minutes to walk there. And Peter Pan is still, but you know what, we'll check the tip board. Peter Pan is still posted at 40. Matterhorn is still showing 65 minutes. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is still showing as closed. So things have not changed or improved any on the remaining part of our schedule, our strategy here. We're gonna drive by Peter Pan and put eyes on that queue, but if it doesn't look like it's anything better than 40, because we were hoping for 30, then we may have to change our plan, which is gonna happen. It's gonna happen when you're gonna set out this, a game plan for the day. You might have to adjust. I don't know if because I wanna be in the Matterhorn queue no later than 2:40, I think, in order to get a proper estimation of how the parade is affecting the queue at that time of day. Now, forgive me, but I'd like to take a quick break from this construction update to let you guys know about Getaway Today. You may already know that they are our preferred vacation planner, travel agent for our fans who are looking to book a trip to Disneyland or Walt Disney World or more. Universal Studios Hollywood, Universal Orlando, SeaWorld, Legoland, you name it. And I'd like to think that we know them very well. We've met many of them personally, and we know how kind they are and how really tremendously good they are at their jobs. And that's why I'm confident in referring our fans to Getaway, because I am confident that you will be treated just as well as we have. If you're planning a trip to a Disney park or Universal or anything else of that nature, if you're planning a trip soon, use the link in our description so that they know that we sent you and so that we know that you were sent to them through one of our YouTube videos. And in so doing, you can be confident that you're going to be getting some of the best possible service from people who know everything there is to know about planning a trip to the Disney parks. Thank you for that. Let's get back to the show. Still 65 minutes to Matterhorn back there, but we're gonna hope to catch this at the perfect time, because what I want is for it to continue to stay 65 minutes or maybe even worse as we approach the queue at 2:40-ish. The hope is that that's enough of a stay away, a call to action not to go. A high wait time is a call to action to stay away from the queue. And we keep that posted wait time well into the point when we're getting into the queue in the hopes of beating that 65 minutes. But for now, we're heading into Fantasyland to catch a dark ride. Now catching Peter Pan here at this time is not an effort to capitalize on the parade. This is part of the strategy of hitting non-lightning lane attractions or attractions like Pirates. It's still a lightning lane, but it's not as bad as most of the other ones are. But to hit non-lightning lane attractions in the middle of the day, as opposed to in the morning or the night, because you want to be using your optimal times, rope drop, closing, that kind of thing, on lightning lane attractions, and spending the middle of the day doing things that are like, less taxing on your body. It's low impact, and then more casual. Like Mark Twain, Columbia, or dark rides here in Fantasyland. This is looking not very good. Oh man, I really wanted to do this today too. That's gonna look like it's gonna be most of that posted wait time. It's now, oh my gosh. Have you ever? I can't remember the last time I've seen a 60-minute posted wait time at Peter Pan. I cannot remember the last time. And yeah, it definitely does look like it now. There's no way I can do that attraction now. I mean, do we have to go all the way down to Toad? Or Pinocchio? Maybe. It is jamming out here in Fantasyland right now. Snow White is no bargain right now either. They're using all of that. All of this is extending and running around to the turret over here. Oh my gosh. That's not good. Hi. I need to find one that's gonna get me to the Matterhorn no later than 2:40, 2:45 at the outside. I mean, there's always Toads, but I feel like I'm always on Toads. I'm always looking for reasons to hit Toads, aren't I? This might be another one. This is incredible. Even Pinocchio is running all the way down there by the old Rapunzel Tower, as they used to have it themed. You know what, let's find out. I want to know how long this takes. Let's get in this one. Oh, gotta go this way. Getting into Pinocchio at 2:04. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let me add, at this point, it's a Monday. Have we beaten that idea that yet? Mondays are no bargain. Not by any stretch. This is the busiest day that I've seen at Disneyland in probably 2 months. And it's a Monday. Nothing like this on Friday. Nothing at all. 2:08 to the door. $2.16, and there's our boat.
For me, you are making lots of money.
Over here, not Pleasure
Come on.
so that was 12 minutes actually. So we went from being behind schedule, because it was posted 20, actual 12. It is now, as I record this, we took a small break, 2:24. So now we are ahead of schedule by a few minutes. I was hoping to be off Peter Pan by 2:30. Hey guys. And I was looking to get on Matterhorn by 2:40, 2:45. So now I've got 20 minutes. Do I try to go for 2 for 1? Do I take a shot at Toads? Toads is posted 25. It's probably close to that. That's a fairly deep queue. It's coming out here beyond the gate. So while that's probably not 25, it's still going to be 15 or 20, which makes it a little too close for our, worst case scenario, entering the queue for the Matterhorn at 2:45. I've got 20 minutes before I want to get into that queue. What about the teacups? Okay, it's looking like it's a fairly deep queue. I'm guessing, pardon me, at least 3 rotations, probably 4, which is about 20 minutes also, but we're now right next door to the Matterhorn. It's literally right over there. So yeah, let's go for that 2 for 1. We're gonna trade Peter Pan for 2 rides here in Fantasyland for Pinocchio and Teacups. Entering the queue at 2:26, hoping for 4 rotations. You know what? While we're here, I'm gonna time how long it takes to board and deboard an entire group for the Teacups. Then you can just do the math from there. So that's the first group right there, the first launch. It is now 2:29. And we've got this amount of queue left. That's a very good start. That is not 4 rotations, not even close. We did pretty good. We're gonna be on the 3rd rotation, so if you figure even 5 minutes per, 15 minutes. That's rotation number 2. It took 4 minutes to cycle that. So figure 4 minutes from now, it's 2:33, 2:37, plus another 2 minutes on the ride, 2:39. We're hitting that exit at 2:40 and in the back of the queue at the Matterhorn a minute later.
Be sure to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside your teacup. And do watch your children. To spin your teacup, just keep turning the wheel to the right or to the left. The faster you turn it, the faster it spins. Well, it seems our party is about to begin. Have a most wonderful time. Ta-ta!
2:37 is about ready to take off, and just going through all this, I'm having so much fun doing these kinds of, I don't want to call it challenges, but just setting plans and measuring things. I don't know if you've ever heard of Ikigai, but I discovered that Ikigai concept not long ago, and I feel like I don't even have to do it. I already knew. When you start answering the questions to develop your own Ikigai, I'm like, my bullseye, my dead center of that Venn diagram is loving analytics, loving finding efficiencies, and then loving Disneyland. Those 2 things intersect for me. This is the coolest thing. It's like the best possible thing that I could ever be doing in my life, and here we go. Let's go on a teacup ride. 2:37 at launch. That was a 5-minute rotation, by the way. I've been watching the Matterhorn this whole time, looking across the way, knowing that what's next for us. I'm just wondering. I should check the tip board right now.
It looks like our tea party is coming to an end. Please remain seated until your teacup stops, and then follow the signs to the nearest exit. Ta-ta! Please visit us again.
Matterhorn is still showing 65 minutes right now, which is actually ideal. And just as expected, oh, it's 2:40 as we exit. 2:40. Oh shoot, I gotta go around. I thought I was gonna be able to make a left there, but they're getting ready for the parade, which is, you know, should be expected. That's been the whole centerpiece of this show, is getting ready for that 3 o'clock parade and putting ourselves in a position to take advantage of that. Just a smattering of guests in Lightning Lane, not bad. We're hitting this queue at 2:41, entering the Matterhorn. 2:41. It's kind of beefy. I have no idea where the, you know, how much this wraps around the other side, but where it's posted 65 right now. We may be a little early. When we exited the teacups, I said that 65 was ideal right now to be the posted wait time. That's because I wanted to say 65 for as long as possible while we're trying to get into standby to deter guests from getting in there. All the while, guests are not getting in, and they're going to be getting in the, you know, setting up for the parade. My fear right now, though, is that we're a little early because this is still a very deep queue, but they haven't had enough time to not get in the queue. People are still here, but we're going to find out how true that is when we make this turn up there. If the queue is wrapping around the mountain at all, which it doesn't look like it is, but I can't say for sure. But if it's not wrapping around there, around the side of the mountain, then we're probably in good shape. Then we're going to be able to process this pretty quickly. When I was mapping this out last night, getting ready for today, my expectation, my hope was that we would be in this queue at 2:35 and into our vehicle at 2:55, 20 minutes, even though the posted wait time would be in excess of that, obviously. The expectation is that the wait time is significantly less, not just a few minutes less, but significantly, such that perhaps half as long. So I was expecting something like 45, maybe 50, but it's actually 20 or 25. The parade effect. We're getting this posted wait time at 65. So I mean, are we doing good at 30 minutes? I think so, yeah. So good news, it is not wrapping around the side of the mountain, which is terrific. That means that all we're competing with is that one section of the queue. Bad news is that it's 2:56 and it's already taken us 15 minutes just to get to this point. And we've still got a ways to go. This strategy, this plan, is entirely predicated on not only standby guests not getting in a queue, but also Lightning Lane guests going to see the parade. But the fact that we've been moving as slow as we have suggests that there are a lot of people still going through Lightning Lane. So I'm still hoping we get at least a good discount here, and then we can prove the strategy is at least somewhat effective. But so far it's not going particularly well. I can hear the parade happening out there, and yet we have been parked here for probably 10 minutes. It is now 3:07. We've been in this queue now for 26 minutes. Still haven't mixed. Can't believe it took me this long to figure it out. I'm like, what is happening to my strategy? It's not working, it's not working. This is why. But good news, it looks like they are now sending guests to the right, so that's gonna, well, hopefully that's gonna pick up things here.
You already got it. It was talking a lot. Damn, that was really
Almost like the same name as the guy.
It's now 3:15 as we approach the mix point. That's 34 minutes so far. Finally, 3:25, and that's our boat right there, 44 minutes. Now, that is a discount, but is that a great discount? I don't know. Well, not all of it anyway. I think that's just the general Disney typically overshooting by a little bit, just a tad thing. And, you know, we recovered a little bit from that downtime when they weren't letting guests in on the Fantasyland side, so a win-ish, I guess?
Your seat, remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the basket. Keep it shut.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Looks like things didn't improve at all while we're in the queue. Still pretty deep in standby. Lightning Lane is looking pretty healthy. Posted wait time, let's see. Still showing 65, holding on strong at 65. There is your Lightning Lane queue. That's pretty much what we were experiencing the entire time we were in there, it looked like. Now it is 3:32 as we leave the Matterhorn. My original game plan suggested that I was hoping to actually have been at the vehicle, the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway vehicle by this point. So we are definitely experiencing a negative reaction to my initial plan, although I will say that plan was based on our observations of how the park has been the past 2 weeks on Fridays. Things are definitely different on this Monday. For example, there is Alice in Wonderland. The back of the queue is wrapping around, oh my. Is it going all the way to the, yeah, to the entrance to, when you enter the cave-like space. So this is certainly outside of, you know, what my normal experiences at Disneyland. Although I would say this is probably, given what I've seen on Mondays over the past couple of years, this is pretty typical of Mondays. And that is a topic of a really good video right there. What day of the week has, you know, the best possibility of advantageous standby wait times? I can say with reasonable confidence that it is not Mondays. It could be Sunday. I would be willing to bet, if I were to look at that data, it would be Sunday. My hope was in doing this that I would get to do 2 attractions under that parade space, you know, the parade time, 2:45 to 3:30-ish, that I would be able to get a couple of attractions in. I got in 1. And you know, the parade is obviously over. People are back in the parks. It's 3:34 as I record this. People are disseminating back out into attractions. Now, one thing that we can't test, the one thing that I wanted to do to close this particular study, this bit of queue science, was to see the after effects. Big Thunder right now is posted at 40, has been posted at 40 for a little while. That's a pretty reasonable sized queue. It's been that way since the parade was going, and it's still the case now. My bet now is going to be the opposite of what I was betting for the Matterhorn back there, that it's probably going to be more than 40 minutes. Hi guys, hi! Or if not more, closer to the actual 40, whereas, you know, it's typically the posted, which is still 40 now. It is typically the case where the posted wait time is a little higher than the actual. So we might be looking at an actual 40. And by the looks of this queue right now, yeah, it's certainly not going to be a discount. We're not going to see this thing come in less than 30 or something like that. Entering this queue at 3:37. $3:55 as we make our way into the queue proper. 18 minutes we spent in that extended queue. I don't have a lot of experience out there in that part of the queue, so I'm not sure if that's a win or not. It doesn't feel like a win. It feels like it's been going pretty slow. And this looks, you know, obviously pretty dense here and not moving briskly. Also, I can report that they have reacted a little bit to that post-parade crowd. They bumped the wait time up to 45 minutes now instead of 40. It's not a big jump, but 5 minutes nonetheless. And the back of the queue is now running out into the you know, the old Fast Pass area. So people are showing up. More Lightning Lane, more standby have been coming in since we got into this queue. $4:37 as we pass under the trade tracks. We've been in the queue now for, did I say 37 or 47? 4:07. We've been in the queue now for 30 minutes, so certainly it's not going to be one of those situations where we beat the time. Now it's just a question of whether or not it's a true 40 or if we're going above 40 as I predicted. That's what I assumed would happen getting in this queue just after the parade ended. Not sure how obvious this is to the common viewer, the common Disneyland guest, but that queue on my left that is moving at a more brisk pace than we are, that's the Lightning Lane queue. And the fact that I can see it from this point and that there's more to go back there are both very bad signs for standby. Typically, Lightning Lane is, you know, it's ending, the back of it is somewhere up there on the other side of that mill. The length that it is now is, this is again, that's, I feel like that is a post-parade product. You know, the parade goers are getting into queues now just like everybody else. The Lightning Lanes, or the parade gets the holding light lanes, are getting into queues. Where I didn't get the exact result that I was thinking we would get at Matterhorn, we are getting pretty much the exact result that I thought we would get post-parade. 19 as we reach the mixed point. We are now at 41 minutes. 4:23, that's our boat. 46 minutes, all in. Actually, it looked pretty bad there for a minute. I thought we were going to be close to the 50-minute range, but we got in there at 46 minutes. That's, you know, I mean, it's worse than the posted 40, which is atypical and does sort of support that post-parade theory, but it could have been worse. And that, Fresh Baked, is our lab work for the day, testing the reaction, the response of the queues around the park that are more or less parade adjacent, finding out how attractions respond, how guests respond before, during, and after a 3 p.m. parade. More or less it went how I expected it, to matters of degrees. I mean, we still had a win at Matterhorn, 65 to 45, or was it, I don't remember now, I think it was 45. Could have been better actually, but we had a little bit of a snag there in the mid-queue. Big Thunder went as I expected, plus we got some wins. We got a win at Pirates, we got a win at the Tea Party. Went pretty well. The only thing that didn't go as well as I thought it might, was Peter Pan. Man, 60 minutes for Peter. I really wanted to get in that queue. If I had just a little bit more time, I would have gotten there, because I would have bet that it's not 60, I would have bet it's more like 45. But there you go, guys. Stay tuned for more, because we're going to be doing a lot of these kinds of things. I'm looking for things to test and to analyze and try to maximize, create more efficiency for you all. So I hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, bye. Be sure to check out some of our recent footage. We got the State of Disneyland report, just put that one out the other day, and our most recent construction update. We talk about the possibility of virtual queue at the Haunted Mansion prior to the queue being finished, right? So watch out for those, and then thanks guys, we love you. Be safe out there, be kind to one another. Respect.